Good afternoon and welcome to ISS Group's how-to video series on how QAD users can now charge a PO to multiple cost centers. To start with, I would like to give a little background about our iPurchase solution. It is real-time integrated with QAD. So when you're looking for a supplier or a item, it is the real-time integrated into the tables of QAD. That also holds true for cost centers, departments, accounts, and sub-accounts. So when you first are using iPurchase, all of this information will automatically be, you will have access to this information once you do the installation of iPurchase and have the integration connected to your QAD system. So let's begin by discussing what we're seeing on the screen right now. This is a requisition that has not yet been submitted. The top half of the screen is your header information. The bottom half of the screen are the line items associated with this requisition. When this requisition goes through the approval process and is approved, a PO will be created in QAD and be sent to the supplier. So what we're going to discuss today is departments, accounts, and sub-accounts, and how you can have multiple line items on a requisition and charge each line item to a different department, account, or sub-account. So as you can see, I have 3 line items here. And right now, they all have the same account, sub-account, and department. I can go into line 1, though, let's say, and I can change the department to sales if I'd like, save and close. And now you'll notice that this first line item has a different department. So as you go through the approval process, like I said, and create a purchase order, that line item will still have a different department on the purchase order. So iPurchase does allow you to charge different departments or cost centers within one purchase order that is created. So now let's discuss how this all works within the system. So right now I'm in a vacation request requisition type. Now I can take these 3 fields, and instead of having everything available to me that's in the QAD system, I can make this list shorter or less items in each list based on requisition type, based on site, or based on user. And this functionality allows the user to not make mistakes when they're entering a requisition, which in the long run will save time within your organization. I can also do it for sub-account. So just based on requisition type. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If I take this vacation request here and I change it to expense, now I have to save it because I made a change to the requisition. I click save. And now the system will warn me that the GL account, the account, sub-account, and our cost center has changed on the lease line because different accounts, sub-accounts, and departments are related to an expense requisition. So if I go back into line 1 here, and now I go back to department cost center, you'll see that there's only 2 items in this drop-down list. And there's only 3 for the account. So just by me changing the rec type or the requisition type allows me to enter or to change the amount of items that are in that list. Now I can keep going here. I can also change the site, let's say, to 15,000. And if I do that and click save, it will change those lists again. Because I can not only do it on requisition type, I can do it on site. So now you'll notice I have more of these are the sites. Sorry, I have less even in the department, but I still have the same accounts. And I'll show you why once we get to the system settings. This is also based on, like I just previously said, that it is also by user maintenance, where you can set up the department under the user name. Now, these settings don't override each other. They are used in conjunction with each other. So if you set the user to only use department 100, 200, and 300, and you use the requisition type expense to only use department 100, 210, and 310, the only department that will show up will be the department 100, because that's the only one that's the same in both settings. So let's move on here, and let's get now to the system settings. So we're going to go into system settings here, and we're going to start right at the top. So you have global system settings. So for example, you have account range can do. You have sub-account range can do, department range can do. When there's an asterisk, it will allow you to see all the GL accounts that are in your QAD system. Now this is globally. Now if I can change this based on requisition type. So if I scroll down and I go to settings that start with RT underscore. So I'm almost there. So now I'm in RT underscore. And let's start with the expense, okay? So you see for RT expense requisitions, account default, you can make it 8200. But the account range only uses GL accounts from your QAD system that starts with the number 8. So any account that has the number 8 will be allowed to be in the list. And as we just saw, the accounts that were there were 8200, 8300, 8400. You can do it for department also. And you can also do it based on rec type and site. So for example, this setting is telling me that for rec type expense and site 10,000, the account range again is 8. Is any account that starts with 8 with the number 8. But if I go to department range, you'll notice it's only 2,900 and 8,300. But only when the site is 10,000. Once I change the site to 1,100, then I won't see all the accounts that start with 8. I'll see only 8,200 and 8,300. So that is the way the system works and how you can limit the number of values that are in these fields. So again, to reiterate, the user error entering a requisition will be much less and it will be much more time savings in the end because you do not have to keep fixing or changing the account, the sub-account, and the department. You'll notice that if I go to CapEx now, the account range is only 8,200, and the field is only read-only. So I can't even change an account if I change the requisition to account to a CapEx requisition type. And let me show you that. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to go to CapEx here. I'm going to click Save. And now that I've saved, it's going to tell me that things have changed. I'm going to go into the first line item, and you'll notice it's blacked out or grayed out, for example. Sorry, I can't change it, and it's defaulted to 8,200. I can still change the department to anything I want, but not the account. So I'm going to go ahead and change the department to 5030 inspection. So now I'm charging this line item to that department. I'm going to save and close. And I got to put a project code in for CapEx. I'm going to save and close. And now you'll see the project is in, but the department is different. So this is how you can charge a PO to multiple departments / cost centers or accounts or sub-accounts. Now, let's go back to the settings and let's go into the user maintenance here. And you'll notice now I'm in Alice F. Simon's user account. And right now I'm in his user information. But if I go to the I Purchase tab, I can add a department right here to him. So now this, when I add the department, he will only be able to see these departments when he goes to enter a rec. Only if This will only change if there's a system setting for a specific rep type that might change the department view. But he will not be able to see any more departments than what are either in the system setting or in his user maintenance screen. Now, let's say you're going through the approval process and the approver noticed that all three of these line items need to have the account changed, for example. So he can go back in here, and as he's going through, I'm going to change this back to an expense type, though, expense rep type, and I'm going to hit save again. And what's going to happen now is it's going to tell me that some stuff has changed in my account, sub-account, and department. But now I'm thinking that maybe the account for all three of these has to be 8,400. So I can hit this batch edit items button now. And I can go into the account and I can pick 8,400 utilities. I can also do a batch edit for sub-account. I can do project, I can do site, and I can do department. But I'm going to just do account here, and I'm going to hit save. Now you'll notice all three line items have changed, which saves the person or the approver who's editing the requisition time, because they can edit all the line items in one quick screen. It does not have to be done separately by clicking the edit button and then going into account and changing it. But now I can also change the department here if I like, and I can hit save and close. And now when this rec is created, this line item, even though it's going to be charged to the same account and sub-account, it will be charged to a different department. This is how I purchase. It allows a QAD user to charge a PO to multiple cost centers. Please join us next week for our next how-to demonstration, and we look forward to seeing you on future webinars. Thank you very much for attending, and have a great day.